Hey everyone, and welcome back to another Tesla weekly video for today. I hope you're all having a wonderful weekend so far. So we've got some things we need to discuss in this video. Now, fortunately, things are looking, let's say, a bit more promising than previously. I'm not saying we're out of the woods yet. Far from it, actually. Far from it. I still think that Q2 will be another weak quarter for Tesla, but could be a better quarter than Q1. Plus, there are some important events happening coming soon, right? The shareholder meeting, June 13. I think it's of extreme importance. And then we're going to have, in 2 months' time, the 8.8 event. Whether or not we're going to see a real working cybercab, autonomous vehicle, robotaxi app working remains to be seen. But some exciting things are definitely on the horizon. Now, let's first start with news item number 1. It's actually maybe not really news because it's always the same thing. Tesla to recall 125,227 vehicles over faulty seatbelt warning system. Oh my god. Well, guess what? It's an over-the-air software update fix. Oh well, I guess until they officially change the recall definition when it comes to these types of things, we're going to see these types of headlines again and again and again and again. Such a shame we don't really get 2 billion iPhones recalled because of this, and that. Oh well. Anyways, before continuing, if you enjoy this type of videos, leave it a thumbs up, subscribe if you have not, would really appreciate that. If you want to support me even further, do check out the link down in the description and in the pinned comment to get the top 10 best stocks to buy now, or go to fool.com/couchinvestor. Thank you very much. Alright, so as always, let's start with the Tesla China weekly insured number. The number came in at 13,100, another solid week in my opinion. We're definitely above last quarter, and yes, we've had that weakish start, but we're definitely making it up more recently. You can see it visualized a bit better. The blue line here is Q1, so definitely Q1 an extremely weak quarter. Q2, of course, weaker than a year ago. I think we're still down around 5% or so year over year, but in my opinion, we are trending in the right direction. You can still see it here, 2023 compared to 2024. We're still a bit below, but we are starting to catch up. Now, one interesting thing here is the Model 3. As you can see, suddenly the Model 3, the sales there are picking up quite fast, especially in the last 2 weeks. Why is that? Well, that's a very, very good question. It basically took them a while to understand that it's a new Model 3 refresh, great looking car inside and outside. And maybe we have to thank, let's say, the competition, because below here compare the Tesla Model 3 refresh to the Xiaomi SU7. Yes, Xiaomi, the phone maker. Now everybody's making cars apparently. Now, despite the Model 3 being in a higher priced category than the SU7, it has been outselling them. Maybe the Xiaomi buyers are now figuring out that the quality of the car is not at the levels of a Tesla. Now, we've been hearing about the competition is coming for quite a while, right? And it's true, there is now way more competition in the market than a couple of years ago. But I do think that giving the buyer more and more options, more and more cars to choose from, is going to be a positive for the bigger players in that market. Because maybe they're going to check out other models and going to say, you know what, I want to change to EVs. I thought this would be the one, but I guess I'll have to go with Tesla, or in this case also BYD. I've been seeing some BYD seals, and I have to say, it's a pretty good looking car, drives quite well as well. So competition is coming, definitely coming from China and not from other players, which is a shame, but okay. But in my opinion, more options for the consumer, the better. Now, on a more positive note, with regards to Tesla specifically, Joua, or whatever you pronounce this, which is a, let's say, third-party seller for everything Tesla accessories, etc., etc. They tweeted out, or they posted on X, Tesla sales are ripping all over the world now. We are getting web traffic jumps from everywhere. Haven't seen a spike like this in over 6 months. Now, of course, we don't have to base all of the expectations for Q2 just based on this tweet right here. We don't know what their sales numbers are. We don't know what the comparison is. I mean, is it suddenly 100,000 visits? Is it 10,000 visits? Is it just 1,000 visits? We don't know, but it's definitely a positive sign. Why is that? Well, you're not going to go on such websites if you haven't bought a new car, right? Unless you really want to change everything that has been in your car for quite a while. But I think with all the promotions, the financing rates being a bit lower than before, I think we're going to start and see some better traction overall. That said, I still think we're in an EV slowdown right now, and I think we're going to have to wait for quite a while until the whole sentiment changes. Up next, moving to Europe, more specifically Denmark, so Tesla has reduced the prices of Model 3 and Model Y in Denmark. The price cuts are up to $5,000 for the Model Y. I mean, there will be a point where not buying, if you're looking for a car, of course, not buying a Tesla is going to look extremely silly because of the prices that are being offered. Moving back to the United States here, it's still very, very clear that Tesla is the only high volume EV maker. These are basically the numbers for US first quarter sales by model. And this is first quarter, which was not the strongest quarter for Tesla overall at all. Still pretty clear, Model Y, Model 3 by far ahead of the rest of the Mustang Mach-E, the Rivian R1S, the F-150 Lightning, the Chevy Bolt, and all the others in that list. And yes, the United States would have been far behind if not for Tesla. The Chinese market would have completely dominated the world of EVs. And I mean, in my opinion, I don't think we would have liked that. Oh, and by the way, going back to the point of more competition is actually going to be quite good. Because you want people to get exposed to EVs more and more. Because right now, I'm still getting the same questions over and over again, right? Range anxiety, do I need a charger? What happens if I don't have a charger at home? Etc, etc. One simple explanation or one simple example, should I say, I give to people, I'm like, would you like me to take away your iPhone or your Samsung and give you back your Nokia 3310? Because when you had that phone, you only had to charge that phone once a week, right? Because now you're having to charge your smartphone each and every day. Isn't that a struggle? Aren't you struggling with that? It's basically the same thing here with EVs. Yes, it's true that going to the gas station, you go in and out 5 minutes, right? Unless you go to the bathroom, you want to buy something, then it's a bit longer. It's very fast. Charging will take a little bit longer. But again, unless you drive 200, 300 miles each and every day, which most people don't, you do not need to go and charge each and every day. Just like you don't need to go to the gas station each and every day either. Plus, a lot of people do have a charger at home. A lot of people do have a charger at work as well. So yeah, this whole thing, just have to explain them, or they just have to get exposed to this new, let's say, technology. Just like people needed to get exposed to the iPhone, to the smartphone when it came out. Moving up to our favorite analyst who writes blog posts each and every week, Adam Jonas from Morgan Stanley here with another note. June 13th shareholder vote, investor survey results. So 57 of our 109 survey respondents expect approval of Elon Musk's compensation package, outnumbering the portion of respondents who expect non-approval by over 2-1. Responses also indicate an expectation of greater potential downside volatility for Tesla shares in the event of non-approval. Of course, 109 survey respondents is not that much, so take that into consideration. The first question here, what degree of confidence do you have in the approval of Elon Musk's share compensation package on the June 13th shareholder meeting? 41% approval somewhat likely, 16% approval highly likely, 20% approval and non-approval equally likely, and then you've got 16% saying non-approval somewhat likely and 7% non-approval highly likely. I think it's not going to be as clear as back in 2018. Question number 2. What is your expected Tesla stock reaction over subsequent 3 trading days in the event Elon's compensation package is approved? 44% said up modestly, 3-5%. 24% said up significantly, 6-10% or more. 20% neutral, plus minus 2%. We've got 9% saying down modestly, minus 3-5%, and then 3%, so the pessimistic people, down significantly, minus 6-10% or more. And the last question, what is your expected Tesla stock reaction over subsequent 3 trading days in the event Elon's compensation package is not approved? 54% of the people here say down significantly, minus 6-10% or more. 27% down modestly, down 3-5%. 7% neutral, 6% up modestly, and 6% up significantly. I think just like we've got here 3%, which is always the pessimistic people, here you got the overly optimistic people. The 6% that say up significantly and even up modestly. Oh, and by the way, if you haven't voted yet, please do so. Up next, more news with regards to my favorite Tesla product for now is the Tesla Semi. So the Tesla Semi is to be shown at the Commercial Vehicle Exhibition in Germany. The Tesla Semi will be presented at the Commercial Vehicle Exhibition in Hanover, Germany. This is the first time the truck will be shown in Europe. The appearance of such a level may hint that Tesla is ready to gain momentum in mass production. Now, I always said that the trucking industry is a huge market for Tesla. Of course, there's been some major delays when it comes to the batteries that go into the Tesla Semi as a whole, pilot program, etc., etc. I do not expect them to launch anytime soon in Europe, but the fact that they are attending this exhibition is definitely a positive thing, because Europe has plenty of countries connected to it. Europe has many trucks, and I think plenty of these truck drivers would enjoy driving in the Tesla Semi truck. The companies would love to replace their old trucks as well. Of course, there's also competition, there's Volvo, but I think it makes sense for the truck driver and for the company as well, because the cost savings are quite something. And lastly here, you might check your email because you might be invited to the shareholder meeting. And second of all, Elon did say that FSD will have a chill, standard, and hurry modes. For people that are stressing out when the car drives itself, it might be a Sunday driver, as we call it, or it might be one of those drivers that really are quite aggressive. Lastly, here is the graph. We've got another green candle on the weekly here. Overall, we're still above the 20 and the 50-day moving average, so at least that's a positive thing. The 200-day one sits at $200. Again, these two circles, one circle is the June 13 shareholder meeting. The second one is the next earnings report, and then I should add another one, it's going to be for next week, the August 8th event. Overall, we're still between the downtrend and the higher lows that started quite a while ago. But right now, I think we're in a case of either it's always darkest before dawn, or it's always darkest before pitch black. This is a Peter Lynch saying, where some stocks, some companies, well, you think it's going down 90%, and then, oh, there's light at the end of the tunnel, but no, maybe bankruptcy is looming. I don't think bankruptcy is looming here for Tesla, but you never know. You never know. Some say after rain comes sunshine. We say that in Dutch, probably other languages as well. Sometimes I like to say, and sometimes it's very true, that after rain comes the typhoon. So remains to be seen what happens. Exciting couple of weeks ahead of us with regards to Tesla. I'll of course update you each and every week during these types of episodes. Do share your thoughts down in the comment section below. If you enjoy this type of videos, leave it a thumbs up, subscribe if you have not, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye.